It's time for you to wake up and be really, really you. It's time for you to stop pretending. It's time for you to stop ignoring the voice within your heart, the voice within your soul, this God-given, epic, grand expression of being that you believe you can't be. Because if you were to be all that you really are meant to be, somebody would judge you. Somebody might reject you. Somebody would be disappointed. Somebody might be offended. And so you don't say what you really see. You don't say what's really there for you. You're playing the game. And that game is killing you. And I know because it was killing me. I've lived that in so many different dimensions of my life. And it never, ever works. It's self-suppressive. And it's a pretending. It's inauthentic. And we think we're being nice. We think we're not doing harm to other people. But you know what? You're not helping anybody by not telling the truth. You're not helping anybody by not saying what you really need to say. You're not helping anybody by not saying what you really need to say that you see. And pretending that you're blind, like we pretend that we're blind so that we can belong, so that we can fit in, so that we don't ruffle feathers, so that we don't have to deal with conflict. And you know, that's so cowardly. And we pretend that we're actually doing that to be nice and not hurt somebody's feelings because we pretend it's about them. But the real truth is, it's all about you. Protecting yourself because you're afraid of conflict. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of denial. You're afraid that people are going to call you something you don't want to hear and turn away from you. And that's why you don't be you. This is total bullshit. You need to stop pretending and start being who and what you really are, regardless of the consequences and the whatever outcome takes place, or you're never gonna really live. You're never gonna step into your power. You're never gonna step into what you were created to be from the foundation of this world. And you need to start really listening. Listen to the voice. Your voice. God's voice in you. The real voice that you have been suppressing and denying. Start seeing. Let your eyes open. Let your eyes open so you can see, and don't let people blind you anymore, because the world is filled with all of these gimmicks and these tricks that people play in the social dynamics so that we won't see or call them out on something that we know is not in integrity. We know it's not right. We know it's not healthy. And we just make up excuses. We make up excuses for where we're at. We make up excuses for who we are and what we do, or what we have and what we don't have. We make up excuses instead of confronting it honestly and authentically and dealing with it. And we make excuses as to why we don't talk to people genuinely. We let people just walk in stupidity and walk in things that cause them harm and suffering. We let them, not take care of their bodies, not take care of their mind, not take care of their relationship properly. We just allow all these things to happen. We don't say anything, right? Or we go on the flip side of it and we try to control everybody, right? And then if they don't do what we say and they don't follow what we say, we get angry and we punish them, right? Or we try to manipulate in some other way, but that doesn't work either. But you can still speak your truth. You don't have to be controlling, but you don't have to hide what you're saying. See, we're trying to avoid being these negative things, like I don't want to be a controller and I don't want to be whatever, but then you don't say what there really is to say, right? And then if you call somebody out on their physical appearance because they're overweight and they're unhealthy, then what do they throw at you? Oh, are you body shaming? Right? There's these excuses and these attacks, these manipulative weapons that people are using to prevent you from speaking the truth and calling people out on what's really not working in their life, what's costing them health and well-being, love and vitality. And you're like, I can't say anything because they got better weapons than you. And those weapons have been defeating you, but those weapons should not be working against you if you know how to play the game properly, which is express yourself authentically and not let their weapons do you harm, not let their weapons suppress you. But you face that and you see it for what it is and you call it for what it is. You know what I'm talking about. You already know in your heart and soul that something ain't right about it. right? But there's something missing. No one empowered you. No one gave you the grace or the freedom or the ability or the space to actually just fully be you. Say what you got to say without fear of consequences. Whether it's right or wrong, you just say it. You be it, right? And there's no punishment for that. Yes, the world will punish you. Your friends will punish you. Your family will punish you for saying the truth. But if you don't say the truth, who are you? What kind of man are you? What kind of woman are you? Nothing. You're nothing if you're not living the truth that you know at the core of your being. You're nothing. You're just living out a lie, just like everybody else. But that's not what you're called to be. That's not what you're called to express in this world. That's not what you're called to suppress. You're meant to express and share authentically and be the light that you are in this world of darkness where everyone's closing their eyes, turning a blind eye to everything that isn't working in their lives. And you've bought into that. Look at your life, look at your relationships, look at your body, look at all the things going on, and you can see that you're just lying to yourself too. We got to stop this mess. You're not called to that. You're called to something greater than that. Are you ready? Are you ready? Start telling yourself the truth first. Get real with you because you're worth it. And then start telling the truth to other people and get real with them second because they're also worth it. And yeah, it can be ugly sometimes and it can be uncomfortable. But you know what? It's all worth it. Because what's on the other side of that is your vitality. What's on the other side of that is your abundance. What's on the other side of that is your true self-expression alive and magnified. You got a world of people pretending to be spiritual, spiritually bypassing what's really real, pretending to be spiritual, pretending to be love, pretending to be light, but they're hiding a world of demons inside. You got people pretending to be religious and like they have the truth, but they're also hiding. And they're unable and unwilling to be with other things in the world because they're scared and they're frightened and they don't understand. You got people in the world pretending that they don't love God, they don't know God, God isn't real, right? They don't even want to look in that direction, right? They're just pretending. We're all pretending to not know, we're all pretending to be something that we're not, and it's not working. It's time to stop. It's time to start speaking up. It's time to start being you, authentically you, really you. Because you're worth it, and they're worth it too. And unless you speak the truth, unless you shine the light, the darkness continues to cover the earth. The darkness will continue to cover your social dynamics. The darkness will cover your soul unless you be the light of the truth that you know you are. You've been suppressing that for long enough. It's time to get up. And it's time to start moving in alignment with your God-given purpose to speak the truth. And you can speak in love, but love isn't always nice. Love says things that is uncomfortable to say. Love says things that's uncomfortable to say. So, who in your life are you withholding the truth from? Starting with yourself, but then who else? You know that you're not saying what really needs to be said. You know you're not being what really needs to be expressed. And you feel it and it eats you up inside, and it's time to stop. And it's time to start being what you really are. Peace is a good thing. It's okay in my book, it's okay. But I'll tell you what, without a little fire and without a little confrontation, without a little challenging, you're going to live in the darkness. You're going to live shrouded and blind and inauthentic, disempowered, and the vitality that you want so desperately and all these other things you're chasing after that it never gives you is going to be lost forever until you come out and you start to shine. Stop pretending you're spiritual. Stop pretending you're religious. Stop pretending you're an atheist. Stop pretending you're whatever you are. And start asking the hard questions. How am I lying to myself? And what is really real? And what is really unreal about my life, about how I live, about what I think, about what I speak, what I don't speak, about my relationships, about everything? Are you really willing to get really real? That's your opportunity I'm presenting you today. Love you.